I've been invited to a party 105 kilometers away. This is where I live here in Sydney, and the party is all the way in the Central Coast over here. And because us cyclists are very sensible people, I've decided that I'm gonna ride my bike there. What started off as a simple idea ended up being quite the adventure. So why don't you come along with me? Let's go. Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, we've got something pretty exciting going on. I'm going on my first ever bikepacking trip. My boy Wombat from high school, he's getting married in a month and I've been invited to his bucks party. It's up on the Central Coast, 105 kilometers away to be exact. And I thought, instead of driving there, why not just ride my bike? I've packed up a weekend's worth of clothes into a travel bag that I've been lent very nicely by my friend Kevin. We're gonna go all the way up the Central Coast and ride there. Also means we have to ride home. I am running horrendously late, so we need to get cracking that right now. Oi. Let's go. To get to the Central Coast, we need to start heading directly north, and the most efficient way to get north is on Pacific Highway. Unfortunately, there's not that many bike lanes or bike paths heading that way. Given my tardiness and also the fact that it's the middle of the day and the roads are quite busy, I decided the best thing to do was probably to get the train to Hornsby, which is on the edge of Metro Sydney. Oh my god, the train's here. We actually might not make it. Alright, I'm picking up my bike. I'm gonna run straight out of the lift. He's gonna miss it. Run. Made it. Oh, that was close. Unlike the Sydney Metro, our trains are double-decker, which is pretty cool but actually quite inefficient on getting people on and off the train. It's about a 30-minute train ride to get to Hornsby, and I took the opportunity to have a muesli bar, look out the window, and also prepare myself for the ride ahead. I just got a brand new Garmin head unit. I got the Garmin 840, not the 850, because I thought the 840 actually was way more better value for money. And it's quite rare that I go somewhere new and need to load up a map, but I have to do that today. I got off the train and I was immediately hit with a blast of hot air. A little bit of a precursor of what was going to come later in the day. And as I carried my bike up the stairs, I couldn't help but feel that my bike was much heavier than usual. In reality, I weighed the bag before I put on the bike and it was only 4.2 kilos. But I think it's a bit of an awkward feeling having the weight of the bike all the way back. Anyway, we're 3 minutes into this video and we haven't even done much cycling yet, so let's get moving. How good? Now that we've cut off about 20 kilometers by train, let's have a chat about the 85 kilometer course that we have left to do. And it is a doozy. With over 1,200 meters of climbing over the course, this is characterized by 3 big climbs and plenty of rollers. We do have one short flat section when we get to the coast, but apart from that, we're either going to be going up or down this whole ride. Check out this amazing valley. That is incredible. Auckland descent early on the ride was just so much fun. This is probably my favourite descent in Sydney, with perfect asphalt quality as well as wide, nice corners. At this point in the ride, spirits were high, energy was high as well, and the pack on the back of my bike didn't feel like it was weighing me down. Instead, it was a constant reminder of the adventure we were going to have for the weekend. Every time I ride, I go out somewhere and I always have to return home, but there's a real sense of adventure and excitement when you're going a one-way trip. And then, something unexpected happened. Hello, are you enjoying this video? Well, apparently 2/3 of you aren't subscribed to this channel. And if you're enjoying this content and my toothbrushing and all these adventures that I go on, a great way to show me that you like it and to support this channel is to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks guys.
I'm just at the base of Mount White now. It's gonna be the biggest climb that we do today. It's a pretty juicy one, and I've just been stopped by a traffic controller to do with the fire brigade. I think there's either a fire up here or there's some back burning. They said I can ride through, but they said it's a bit smoky, so yeah, I'll just keep an eye out and see how we go. Hopefully it's not too bad, because there's not really any other ways to get up to Central Coast apart from going much further inland. And as you can see, I'm already pretty puffed from this climb. Look at this thing. She's steep. I should have put the gradient and everything on the screen by now.
Initially, it didn't look too bad. I could see a bit of smoke behind these trees here, and there's a fire brigade vehicle or two. But as I got further and further up the hill and higher up, things got more intense. What started off as a few patrol vehicles ended up being full-on firefighting trucks, as well as a few firemen spraying down trees with their hoses. And the smoke that looked like a little plume on the other side of the tree line soon engulfed me. I didn't have any mask on me or any cloth that I could use to cover my mouth, so I just put my head down and just tapped it out.
This is definitely back burning. This is not an accidental fire. They're doing this to clear out all the dry foliage that are on the ground and before summer comes, because in summer it'll be so hot they won't even be able to control the fires. So they do it now in spring, do little fires, burn all that old stuff that has accumulated over winter. It's part of preparation here for summer in Australia. Looks like we're through. It's actually only a very small section, but because I'm going uphill, it took quite a while. Maybe less than 1 kilometre. Now we're up into clear blue sky and fresh air once again. So this is the first time I've ridden with like a bag on the back of the bike. It is a little bit of a different experience. Getting out of the saddle is not really an option, and I really like riding out of the saddle, especially on the long climbs, just to stretch my back out. So it's a little bit uncomfortable. When you get off the bike, it's a bit harder to swing your leg over the back because you got something hanging out. And something I didn't really consider until now is that because I've got the bag on the back, I should probably increase the pressure in my back wheel. So yeah, learning a few interesting things today. There's a cafe over here. I think it's called Old Road Cafe. Let's see if it's open. Hopefully it is. I could really use a cold drink right now. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
It's pretty warm.
Yeah, nothing. You did 1 or 2 before, which was alright.
99% of the time I do my riding early morning or in the evening, and I never really ride at this hottest part of the day, which is in the afternoon. And man oh man was I feeling it. It was so warm. 30 kilometers in, I'd already finished 2 bottles of water. I quickly chucked down a meat pie, but I didn't want to spend too long here because I knew I had a long way on the road ahead of me. sun was relentless, with temperatures reaching over 35 degrees. I clung to the side of the road looking for any piece of shade that I could, and I was more than thankful to have these ascents in these valleys which were protected from either side. At this point in the ride, I was completely isolated. I hadn't seen a single car or a human or a cyclist in what felt like hours. As someone who's very used to riding with the company of other people and just chatting and letting the kilometers go by, every single pedal stroke could not be more apparent. But for me, every kilometer felt like 10, and I couldn't help but think that maybe group riding was a source of my secret strength. Or maybe riding solo is actually my kryptonite. After what felt like an eternity, I turned off the old Pacific Highway and finally back to civilization. The company I was missing was definitely not all these cars, and it looks like heaps of people were deciding to go up to the Central Coast at this particular time. Given that it was a busy time of the day, I decided to stick mostly to the footpath, or if there was a dedicated bike lane, go there. Except for the big descent down into Woy Woy.
We have a major issue. We're only about 20 kilometers out, but for some reason the bag will not stop sliding down. And if you look at that, anytime I hit a bump, the bag touches the wheel, and then it's already torn a hole in the bottom. So I'm really sorry, Kevin. I'll just buy you a new one, okay? Why does it do this? Like, in all the pictures, is it the shoes? The shoes are less than 200 grams. What is it? Why is it like that? I can't figure it out. I've tied all the straps as tight as they'll go. Was I meant to put something like a plank of wood in the bottom or something? If I keep carrying on like this, I'm gonna lose my toothbrush and all my personal belongings on the road from a hole in the bottom. So I'm gonna try and figure it out again.
To be completely honest with you guys, I was quite frustrated at this point. I felt terrible that I damaged the bag, pretty much torn a massive hole in it, especially because it belonged to one of my friends. I don't know if it was the road vibrations and all the potholes and bumps along the road which was loosening the straps on the bag and making it sag, but I ended up having to stop a couple more times every few kilometers to tighten the straps up again. If you know me, you know that I hate stopping and starting, and this was especially annoying because it was getting really warm and hot. Anyway, at some point I realized there's no point feeling sorry for myself, and having a bad mindset was not going to fix a hole in a bag. It's better just to enjoy my surroundings, keep going on with this bike ride, and be grateful for the beautiful scenery.
We're up to the final challenge of the day. Holy macaroni, it is a huge climb. Average 12.5%. On the Garmin, it's showing it's black. Oh my days, this is gonna be cooked. Oh dear.
And cooked it was. Man, I was already out of gears by the first ramp of this climb, and this just turned into an absolute grind fest. I slowly pedaled my way up, probably about 50 cadence. It was not fun. There were 2 switchback corners, and the inside of these corners was crazy steep. I swear it was over 20%. That bag on the back of my bike that didn't feel like anything before, oh man, it felt like I was dragging a weight on the ground behind me. But I kept telling myself, as soon as I'm at the top of the hill, I'm pretty much there.
Wow. That was some climb. Jeez. That's giving me peak flashbacks. I'm absolutely knackered. Look at that. another snake. Oh my god. I almost ran over a snake. I'm glad I made it. I need a cold drink and I think I need to cool myself down a bit. I've got to put it in a voiceover. I got nothing left to say.
At the end of the Bucks party weekend, I packed up my stuff again, and it was pretty apparent that I probably didn't pack it correctly the first time round. You can see the hole in the bag here, but this time round the bag is way more secure. It is not moving anywhere, nor is it drooping down. I decided to take the easy way out and get home by taking the train, and this ended up being a fantastic decision because one, I got to catch the brand new intercity trains that go between the Central Coast and Sydney, which was awesome because these trains have these really cool features like bike racks, luggage compartments, as well as these pretty nifty screens. They even have tray tables, and probably the best part of the train ride is that the scenes are amazing. You're traveling down by the Hawkesbury River through these valleys, and it was fantastic. The other really good reason that I caught the train is because the weather turned incredibly quickly and it ended up being really windy and raining in the afternoon. So yeah, after a pretty tiring weekend, it felt like I made the right decision by catching the train. This is where I'm going to end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this adventure with me riding all the way up to the Central Coast. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.